So we're cooking carne asada, and it's a fun dish to make. It's a good way to use up some of that beef you have, and it's delicious too. So let's get going. So what I got what we call the eye of a round, which is kind of like the top part of a big old round of beef from a cow, and that's what we're gonna do. So I'll show you what it looks like. Looky there. So that's the top of it right there. And I'm not trimming off really any of the fat. I like a little bit of that fat on there. It gives it some flavor when it gets cooked up. But what I did slice some pieces off of it. So we got some nice thin slices, and that's what I wanted. Nice, pretty darn thin. So after we cook it, because the top brown is going to be a little bit chewy. It's got a good bite to it, a little bit of chew to it, which is how we like our beef, our carne, right? So I've got that set up. So what I'm going to do, we're going to marinate it. I'm going to marinate it really shortly today, but usually you want to marinate it a little longer than we will today. So let's start with, we got our beef here, and I put it in a bag. We marinate it in the bag. You can marinate it in a bowl if you want to, but this is a really simple way to do it. And then if you wanted to, you could seal it up, push all the air out, and freeze it also if you had more than you needed. But we're not going to do that today. We're just going to go right ahead and marinate this. So we'll start with we're going to do some lime, some orange, a little bit of lemon, and what else was I going to do? Oh, I've got some garlic, and we're going to black pepper, salt. We'll do a little jalapeno in there, and that will be our marinade to start with. All right, so really easy. When we're going to marinate and we're going to get some juice, what do? We roll these. We push with the bottom of our hand or something, or you have somebody else do it, and what that does, that breaks up the little membranes inside of your citrus fruit and makes it, oh wow, look at that, makes it easier to juice. That's funny, Eric. Eric finally laughs after all year long. When I do something bad, he laughed at me. It's heartbreaking, Eric. So what we do, remember, the temptation is to put this like that because it's curved, but no, you turn it over like this. And then you're going to get some juice out of there. Squeeze it, nice and easy. I usually don't put my citrus into my compost, but I'm going to today. I think I need a little bit of citrus in my compost at home. So there we go. I got one orange in there. I'm going to get a couple limes. And notice this is yellow, and people think, oh, I can only use that for lemons, but that's not true. You can use it for whatever you want. Don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't do, unless it's your mom and dad, and they're in charge. Or your teacher. Oh, yeah, especially your teacher. Obey your teacher. All right, there we go. That's one orange, one lemon. We'll do a couple limes. And if you wanted to, you could also, before you squeeze, oh, that was a juicy lime. So if you want to, before you squeeze these, you can do what we call is zesting it. You can use a microplaner and get some of that zest off of your citrus fruit, which I didn't do, but I can go back and do it. Let's see, I'll grab some lime. Grab my microplaner. Okay, I always like to do that. Makes me feel good about myself. So what you do is you just pull that microplaner against the outside of your lime or your lemon or your orange, whatever you're going to do. You see that? And there's also all these oils on it too. I worked with this guy once. He thought he was a chef. He really wasn't. He was just a hack. But he would yell at people if they didn't do it over it because you're losing all the oils. And so he would go crazy if you didn't do that. Luckily, I threw him out of the kitchen one day and never saw him again. Adios, muchacho. Okay, now we're going to do into there also. We'll put a little bit of garlic. Remember, we crush our garlic down like that. There we got a couple good. There's a good one. I like oh, look at that one self-peeled. That's the best kind of garlic. When you get a garlic that self-peels itself, that's where you want to be. That is heaven. You don't have to do all the fancy, smanchy cutting or peeling of your garlic. It's just ready to go. All right, so we dice that up a little bit, not too much. Put it in the mix. We got some jalapeno, and once again, see, we cut it lengthwise like that. If you want to take the seeds, just go like this, just like I'm doing. If you take them out, if you want to leave them in, leave them in. I am not averse to leaving in my seeds. I only do this because everybody tells me to take the seeds out, but they've never, ever once in my life bothered me. Seeds are good. Seeds are good for your soul. All right, so there we got some diced jalapeno. Into there you go. All right, so let's see, and then we're going to put in some salt, some pepper, and we're going to be fully marinated. Almost, it's the same thing as fully vaccinated, but with lemon juice. All right, you like that? Which, by the way, I am fully vaccinated. All right, there we go. We shake that around. Make sure everything's a little bit covered in there. If you feel like you need a little more juice, put some in there. I did have some cooks back in the day, Juanito Magana. He would take these oranges and he would put the whole orange in there like this. He'd squeeze the juice and just throw in the rind, everything like that, and that gives you just a little more flavor, just flavors things out. And let's put a little oil in there too. All right, so about a tablespoon of oil in this whole mixture, and we're ready to go. Okay, so we're gonna let this sit for a little while. Let those flavors develop. Let that meat get nicely marinated. And what those lemon juices, those lime juices, those citric juices, what those do, that helps break down the meat into makes it easier to chew, okay? Honestly, it does. That's science. Believe me. So where it's going to sit for a bit, I'll have somebody, oh, there's somebody right there. Look at Alex just walked into the picture just in time. I'm going to have her go ahead and grill these for me. You want to do this for me? Yes, she does. Look at her enthusiasm. Okay, so we're just going to throw them on the grill. I know your camera can't see this, but I'm going to do those. You can put them all on at once. We're going to. If she messes it up, then we'll blame it on AJ. So while she's doing that, what we're going to do, we're going to get a couple things to put on top once these are all cooked up and done and ready to eat. So I'm just going to make a quick pico de gallo, and it's going to be so simple. I'm only going to make enough for me. I'm making not enough for anybody else. If you want some, make it yourself. Okay, see that? Cutting technique. We slice it this way. We're going to dice this up. But notice the one thing, I'm not moving those tomatoes around until I turn them. Just turn them. Don't pick them up. Don't make it harder on yourself. Please, I beg of you. All right, so there we go. That's as much as I'll do 2 tomatoes because I know there's going to be those people that want some. All right, you don't have to take out the seeds. I'm just doing this because it's going to be more of a garnish, and we want it to look pretty. See how that fan, getting all the smelly smoke go outside the building instead of here? That's why it's really loud. That's why all of a sudden I'm talking louder. It's kind of winding me up. It's like the theme music to a movie when like something bad's gonna happen. All of a sudden the music gets louder and scarier. Bum bum bum. And somebody's head got cut off. Let's see. Oh, I did have more. Here we go. I have jalapeno here. So let's get this one ready. Big shout out today, Mr. Jelsing's birthday. He's 74. They gave me the candles. It says 7 and a 4. Right? Okay, so we're doing a little bit of jalapeno in there. Let's put some cilantro. And what else could we put in our pico de gallo? We're going to squeeze a little juice in that. Use those stems of that cilantro. Don't throw away your stems. You will be sent to eternal incarnation. All right, well, I'll put a little bit of onion in it. And I'm just making a big pile. I'm making a compost pile here, which I'll do it all in one fell swoop in a little while. Okay, really fine dice on our onion. We don't want to go too crazy on our onion, so not too much onion. We want you want to be able to taste all of the flavors in your salsa. You don't want one really crazy predominant flavor. So let's go with a little bit of this lime juice now. And see, there's still a little of that zest on there. So let's make sure we get that in there. Make sure we get all those oils. There you go, Ponty. Okay, whoa, don't throw your knife either. And let's squeeze some lime juice in there. Those are some nice, juicy limes today. I like that. That's from the chef's store down the way. Oh boy, that feels good. I'm feeling good about this. Let's do a shot of Tabasco. Shot or two. We'll do some salt, some pepper, and this is ready. We're ready to garnish our Carne Asada burgers. They're not really going to be burgers. They're going to be the real thing. All right. So I keep my area clean, correct? How's that meat coming along, Allie? Ready? Perfect. Throw them right on here. Yeah, why not? All right, look at Alex go. She is on top of it. And then when you're done with those, I'm going to just grill these up real quick while I chop up my Carne Asada. And then the one other thing we'll get done right now, I'll get a avocado. Perfect. Look at that. Ta-da, ta-da. Da-da-da-da-da. That's our Carne Asada, nice and cooked by a professional. And I'm looking for my spoons. I think there's some spoons right there, Eric. You want to grab one? There you go. Come on. Rapido. Gracias. Thank you. Notice how my language jumps over a whole bunch of different languages. Merci beaucoup. So we're going to get this cut up, ready to go when it comes time to top off our little tacos. Take that seed out. The pit, I guess you call it the pit. I call it what I want to. All right, those are a little kind of funky on the outside, but that's not going to bother us any. The flavor is going to be there. I'll taste it. Make sure. That is a tasty avocado. And then look what I did. I brought out the red board. And that is to cut the meat on, okay? That's just, this is all pomp and circumstance, just so the health department sees that I'm doing this. We do this all the time, sir or ma'am. All right, then what you want to do, you want to make sure you cut against the grain. You want to cut it nice and thin. I like to do it as thin as I can. That's when a good sharp knife, a good solid, nicely bladed, sharp knife comes in very handy. See how thin that is? I can tell you. What do you think of my thinness factor there, Alex? She said, great job, chef. You couldn't hear her. Okay, you want to turn off when you're done, turn off the fire, and then you can turn off you can finish those though. All right, see how easy that is? Nice and simple. See that motion? Tip of my knife never leaves the board. Well, let's not say never, but it doesn't leave it very often. And you just get that rocking motion. I should have put something under there to keep the board from moving. But sometimes they just live on the edge. Okay, see that? See how quickly it cuts up? Now, if you do a carne asada party for a lot of people, your arm's going to get tired. So you make sure you bring along a couple of friends that can help you cut up the meat, because I've done big, large parties for hundreds of people where you have to cut a lot of meat, and it's very tiresome. Unless, of course, you spend a lot of time at the gym, which I do not do. Waste of time, waste of money. I'd rather play baseball. I don't like baseball. That's the whole joke there. Okay, so let's finish these up. Sorry, Lori. So what we're gonna do, we'll do a couple tortillas together. We get some of our asada meat. That's tasty. Right on top of that. Just like in the movies. Remember Brad Pitt in that movie about Carne Asada? I don't either. All right. It was filmed in Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh. Okay. There we have a little bit of salsa on the pico de gallo. We do a couple of these avocados, or one if you only have one, or two. There we go. That looks good. And then you're pretty much done. If you want to, I love Tabasco sauce so much, so I'm going to try one, and I'm going to put some Tabasco sauce on it and see what happens. Oh, that looks good. Yum. As they say in my favorite game, home run. So get in the kitchen. Get in the kitchen. Sharpen your knives, especially if you're making carne asada, because that was a joke. Oh man, that's so good. I can't even finish my exit statement. No, so get in the kitchen, sharpen those knives, keep those notes coming. Thanks, Mr. Jelson. Happy birthday. Everybody sing it. Happy birthday to you. There you go. And thanks for bringing Quinn's water bottle back, and keep cooking. See how fun that was? And tasty. So bon appetit. Oh, my belly looks big. On camera only.
I'm going to leave that in there.